Hello, good evening. Welcome to Dave's Tacklebox. It's Sunday, the 11th of January 2015. So happy New Year. Tonight's show is gonna, yeah, I won't say weird, because I themed it. We have to put a little, have a little strap line each day, just to, a summary of what the show's going to be about. And I built this one as the late Christmas show. And the reason is, I did some preparation work with a lot of help from most of the rest of the VTTV team to do a Christmas show before Christmas. But then work interfered and I wasn't able to transmit that show. So I've been missing for a month. But I thought it was a shame to waste it because it's good stuff. So there's a lot of Christmas sort of theme coming in here, which may seem ridiculous on the 11th of January. However, technically, right, I don't go back to work until tomorrow. So I'm still on Christmas holiday, therefore it's still Christmas. I think that's fair. So we're going to be having a look at that. I got a little toy. I got a little GoPro camera a couple of months ago now. But I took it out the other day when I went for a wander and did some rabbiting. So I've got a little VT called Rambling in both senses of the word. And also I want to talk and take a little walk down memory lane back to a year ago today when we did the BBC Vapemeets. So we'll start though at the beginning with the titles. See you in a minute. So, as I was explaining, we're going, just pretend it's like a month ago, just before Christmas, and then all of these little VTs that I'm going to be showing you tonight will make sense. Basically, what I did is I asked as many members of the Vapor Trails TV team as I could to film a short VT. I just said just a couple of minutes, something like that. And just tell me what your favourite vaping device of 2014 was. So it's still therefore relevant, I think. Just, probably a bit more snow and jingle bells music on the edit than you probably expect in January. If you want to comment on what any of the guys are saying as I play through these VTs, just tweet with hashtag VTTV. If it's publishable, I'll put it up on the screen because I can do that. So, right. 6 members of the team I managed to collar. I think, who should we start with? Let's start with Matt. This is Matt's best of 2014. Enjoy.
I didn't think it was possible to suck that hard. I'm impressed. Hi. I'll just catching up some vaping videos there. Okay. Just compose myself. I had a message from Mr. Kitson earlier today, and he was wondering what my vaping device thing of 2014 was. So here I am. I'm here to tell you that my vaping thing of 2014 isn't bizarrely a DNA 40, even though I really like them. It is in actual fact a Heron and GP Lux combination, and I'll tell you why. If you actually pay attention here, you'll see that wonderfully simplistic, smooth design. There's no fancy logo. Well, there are logos on it, but they're kept very tasteful. It's got a magnificent switch, it really is. You can put it down, it won't fire, but it's very responsive. It locks very easily. The threading on all the tubes is absolutely perfect. There is no flaw in this device, in my opinion, whatsoever. The actual Heron that sits on top, I've only ever called it once, and I had this for most of the year. I do believe it was actually released at the end of last year, but it counts because I didn't get one till this year. And all I needed to do is just take the cotton out, dry burn it, put new cotton in, fill up the tank and vape. And the vape on this is superb. For me, that is a perfect vape. You get a decent amount of vapour, you get an excellent flavour, and the throw hit, you know, if people still want that, is also very good. For me, it is a flawless device, and I urge everyone to try it. And you can put a kick in it if you don't want it just as a pure mech, but I like it as a pure mech. So there we go. That's my pick of 2014. Now, I need to finish up watching my vape videos before the missus gets back from work, so if you'll excuse me. I'll see you next time.
Oh, there you go. That was Matt's thoughts on his favourite device of 2014. And following in from here, there's a bit of a pattern starts to emerge, actually. But thinking about what order to play these in. I know. Let's have a look at Very Boring's thoughts on his favourite device of 2014. And I do apologise for the way that this has been played out, because that little polar bear thing, snowman, wasn't a polar bear, was it? It was a snowman. And the Jingle Bells music. It's a bit close together, but enjoy this.
Oh, papers. Hello there. My pick of 2014. People who know will be unsurprised to learn. Elric, my SX350 box mod. Only the original 60 watt. In fact, it's so good, I'm building it twice. See you later.
That was very boring. Short, succinct, and to the point, and he quite liked his box mod that he's built, and he's building another one, which I know he's been progressing with, actually, because I've been sort of seeing updates. So 2014, there was a lot of stuff came out in 2014, and I'd forgotten a lot of it, basically, until I watched some of these videos. And we're going to hear from Cat and Sav, Dave Dawn, Andy, and Daz between now and the end of the show. And they'll be telling us what their favourite vaping devices of 2014 were. But I'm just going to cross VB off the list here now, so I don't show you that one twice. See how organised I am. That was my New Year's resolution. Was not to show VTs twice. First, though, let's take a little detour. I said at the top of the show, I got one of these GoPro cameras, and it dawned on me at the beginning of this week that basically during this Christmas break, I was working. I didn't have a day off in December up until I broke up for Christmas, and basically I've just vegged as much as I could on the settee over Christmas. It came to Monday, the missus went back to work, and I thought, oh, I've got to get off my arse and do something. So I took this little GoPro camera. I didn't have a proper mount for it, so the sound quality is not great. While I'm in the car, I kind of wedged it into the grill on the aircon. You'll see. But I thought I might as well film something, and then when I'd filmed it, I thought, well, I might as well edit it. And believe it or not, several people have asked if I could take a camera out when I go on a walk. So I thought, yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone. And if I can find that video, I will show it for you. Here it is. So there's this just under 10 minutes of this. See you after this. Well, it's Monday the 5th of January 2015, and I've decided to get off my arse and actually do something today, because I haven't done much at all over Christmas. I had all these great plans for things I was going to do with video cameras, e-cigs, all sorts of plans, and basically I've done none of it. So I've got a week left before I go back to work. So I thought I've got to do something, move off the sofa, even if just for a couple of hours. So I'm on my way for a walk. And on the way I thought, I know, I'll try out this little camera. So hopefully you can hear what I'm saying and you can see me. I won't know until I get home. But as I drive to where I'm going to wobble about for a bit, I thought I'd reflect on what I meant to do and what I ended up doing using e-cigs over the Christmas period. I've travelled a bit over Christmas. I spent a few days in Munich, and we've been visiting relatives and stuff in the UK, and I've been out and about, but not very constructively. So I was hoping to have a go at building a mod. That hasn't happened yet. There's still some time left this week, but might not happen. And also, I've got some new bits and bobs lying around on my desk which I wanted to try and play with sub-ohming a bit and that kind of stuff. But what has actually happened is I've stuck with this thing, the billet box, and I've replaced the coil on it a couple of times, the Aspire PVC coil. I've refilled it a lot. I get through a pair of those batteries, about 1 pair a day. So I've been replacing the batteries a lot. But ultimately, it's done everything I wanted it to do. I've still got it at the same, was it 4.75 volts? I can't even remember. It's that long since I set it that I did when I did the video on setting it up with the bridge. And I've just been using it since, and it's been perfect. It's a bit scratched up now, especially around the bottom bit, because it's been in my pocket with keys and coins and stuff like that, and I've tried to treat it a bit carefully, but it's got a bit of wear and tear on it now. So yeah, so not really a lot to report. But I thought I'd share that with you. I've done nothing in terms of experimenting with e-cigs. I'm still using the billet box. Anyway, I shall continue my drive, walk around a bit, and I might even point the camera at a couple of things if anything interesting happens. See you in a bit. As I sit here putting my socks and boots on because it's a bit muddy. I shall try and show you this billet box. I doubt very much that this camera's going to pick up all the scratches and stuff on the bottom, but let's just say it's now lived in. It's clearly a user. As I say, I haven't even messed with the voltage setting on it. It's just doing what I want it to do. So why change? The flavour from the Aspire BBC seems better than in that silo tank that I had on the iStick. I don't know whether that's just in my mind or whether that's actually true, but I'm seeing no reason to change it, and it's just so convenient. It just goes in your pocket. It doesn't fire when it shouldn't because of the way the button's constructed. It's just great. I can't see me changing in the short term, to be honest. Anyway, let's go do some walking. Last time I came down here, I stopped for a while. I had a bigger camera on a tripod and filmed by a gate down there, and I was talking about the TPD and all that rubbish that was going to go on in Brussels, and was wondering how it might turn out. That feels like a very long time ago now. So water under the bridge, as they say. And I find myself, as we start 2015, wondering what is actually going to happen. We know that the legislation, we know what that says, but half of it seems impossible to implement. What's going to happen? Who knows? There's so much debate going on amongst the public health people and everything at the moment now. And instead of all being con, we've got pro and con. Pro and anti. It's all changed quite a lot, but nothing much has changed yet. So God knows what's going to happen next year when this is all supposed to become law. Answers on a postcard, please. That's where I filmed a bit ages ago. All the way up there. I had to buy some new walking trousers this morning. Think I need to do more exercise. Can't blame that on the e-cigs though. My hat still fits. I've only been walking for something like 10 minutes or something, and it's a bridle path, but it's not a very much used one. 10 minutes in the car, 10 minutes on foot, and all I can hear is that stream, and I can see squirrels over there. Gone. Typical. Well, that was quite enjoyable. I did enjoy that. A couple of hours wandering around. The light's starting to go, and it's extremely muddy, and I don't want to get it all over my new car. So that's enough for today. I feel like I've done something now, so I haven't totally wasted my time off work. Maybe I'll go out again this week, see what the weather's doing. But for now, it's back to me in the studio. And there you go. So there was a bit of rambling going on there. Get it? Yeah, I was watching the comments in chat, and it was indeed a little GoPro camera. This I've got a mount now to stick it to the windscreen, which I didn't have, and it only arrived the other day. It's a cheapy one off Amazon, but it'll do the job. But people were asking, is that a selfie stick? If you've got a GoPro and you want to do that kind of thing, this is what that was. This is a GoPro thing, and it's ridiculously overpriced, as I remember. But it's like it's got you can use it as a tripod, and there you go. I'll just show you very quickly. You can use it as a tripod or a selfie stick, or you can do all kinds of things with it. It's actually very flexible. You can jam this. Just put the camera on the bottom bit and jam it into the air conditioning vent on your car, which is what I did. And then I realised that's probably not a good thing to do. So that's why I splashed out the 10 quid or whatever it was for this one. So next time, there should be a bit less rumbling and a bit easier to hear what I'm saying. That's the idea. Anyway, it's time for an ad break. In fact, it's way past time for an ad break, so I better get a shift on. See you in a couple of minutes.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of VapeTrails.tv.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
Vapers, do you love discovering new e-liquids? Tell Dripper the types of flavours you like and they'll send you 5 gourmet juices each month. Experience new and exclusive flavours, all with a money-back guarantee and free delivery anywhere in Europe. Dripper.co.uk.
RY4 Radio.
While you're pouring that beer, I'll have a gin and tonic. What about you?
Bit early for gin, I'll just stick with the vodka.
Vodka. There you go. Right, we're going to say, first of all, best wishes for a very Merry Christmas when it comes. You think? No. We'll get to that nearer the time. Although it's pretty close, like, isn't it? You done all your shopping?
Yes.
Haven't even started. Like the earmuffs. It's because it's cold. Been asked to tell you about my favourite device of 2014. Dogs. I don't know, I think yours is the same as mine, isn't it?
It is. It was a close run thing, but I think we both came to the same conclusion. That it has to be the Solara combined with the silo tank. It has to be. It's just a win-win for both of us.
We love it.
Yeah. Great device, great tank, works absolutely flawlessly. Nothing more to say about it really, but I do have to give an honourable mention to the runner-up. And it was a very close thing, because the runner-up for me had to be the iStick with a mini Nautilus combination, which was very, very hard to beat, I do have to say that. But the Solara pipped it.
And this was my runner-up of the year, which is the Joytech Evic Supreme with the Delta tank on. That's been a good device this year as well.
The Delta tank I love, I use my Delta tank on a daily basis. But
do you know what the main thing these tanks have in common?
they don't leak.
Yeah, they don't leak, and that's been lovely. And I know this is very similar to the Nautilus. So there you go, Nautilus, Silo, whatever your choice. I like this, and Sav does the same. So that's our choices. Everybody's different. I'm sure other people have other things to say. I mean, the little stick there, it's done a canny job.
The
I love
iStick
it,
is
don't
great,
you?
it really is, and it does get daily use. I'm one of these people that has an e-cig in every room, because if I don't, I end up forgetting where I've put something. So, and the iStick is watching the telly in the bedroom e-cig.
So there you go. There you go. That's ours. Did you say we're different?
Does that mean we're done now? Can I take these stupid earmuffs off?
Stupid earmuffs?
Can I take what you say?
You know what it is. Can't get the stuff these days, can you?
Take that.
Anyway, Dave, your turn. Cheerio.
Thanks very much to Cat and Sav there. Now, for the people who are watching this live that have only just turned up and didn't hear the explanations I've given, yes, these videos were supposed to be shown before Christmas, but due to work commitments, I had to cancel the show that I was going to show them on. So I'm showing them now instead. So I don't know about you, it's making me feel Christmassy, and I'm already starting to regret that it's 11 months until Christmas. But there you go. So that was the Solara and the iStick and the Evic Supreme. Got a very kind mention there. And this is as good a place as any for me to talk about my favourite device of 2014. And I'm gonna go. Even though you saw in that VT that I've been using this over Christmas, it's mostly because of laziness. When I start travelling again, I'm going to go back to the iStick. And the simple reason for that is I don't want to take this through customs just in case somebody says, "Oh, don't look at that." I mean, theoretically, it should be fine to take on a plane. But the iStick is a little bit more discreet. This thing's quite kind of difficult to lose in your hand. It's not huge, but it's bigger than the iStick. So, I the iStick for me was the best thing that came out with the silo tank, the mini silo tank that I was using on it. There were other things like the Aspire Atlantis. You know, I mean that was pretty groundbreaking. I know we've now got the Kanga sub tank and what have you, but the Atlantis, that caused a bit of a ripple, didn't it? A few people seem to like that as well. But that was Cat and Sav's thoughts. I'm going to, I think, go straight on to another one of those. Because I want to talk about the BBC Vapemeets, but I'll do that towards the end of the show. We've got 2 left. I think we'll go with, well, I'll build the suspense. Someone else. Here we go. Another best of 2014 with Christmas music and snowmen.
It's me. They don't let us on camera much nowadays. But I've been asked to do a little bit of a segment on what I think is the best mod that I've had for 2014. In the minute they said, I decided, and it's the iStick. The iStick with the Tayfun GT on the top with some strawberry milkshake inside. Heavenly. Well, I'm saying that, but no, it's the Delta. It's the Delta tank on the Avic Supreme, and this has got some cherry tunes in it. Yeah, it's the Avic Supreme. But then again, I think it might be the MVP, because I took that to Thailand with us, and it did the job. We did lose one off the back of an elephant, but it did the job. And that's got an Aspire BVC with some apple pie in. Which at the minute isn't firing. But it does normally, but we'll put that one down. Well, it could be that one. No, it's the Hannah. That's it, the Hannah with a K-Fun on the top. That's definitely it. And I think I've got some fire and ice in here. And I would vape it, but it says check battery because the battery's like flat. But no, it's the Hannah. But it could be the MVP still. No, the Delta. The Delta on the Avic Supreme. Somebody thought I was carrying a bicycle pump with this the other day. But then again, I kind of like this one, which is the iTaste VV, and I took this to Thailand as well. And I really like that one as well. It's handy for the car. And you got pass-through on it, like you've got on the other ones. I like the pass-through, I have to admit. No, it's the iTaste. Oh, but then, VTR. I really like that one as well because I break mods, and if I drop this on the floor, I'll do more damage to the floor than what I will on this. No, the IT, no, the Hannah, no. I like them all. I'm off. See you later.
Thank you very much, Daz. So, if nothing else, that video shows the kind of variety and the selection of stuff that appeared in front of us in 2014. It's definitely some kind of watershed. And I must admit, if we were worried that all this talk of the TPD and everything might sort of stifle a sort of innovation, and there might be a bit of a slowdown, but it hasn't hit home yet, has it? That video was a cracking summary of the highlights in vaping devices in 2014. But alas, we do not know which was his favourite. I feel I must invite people. I mean, if you've lost your e-cig off the back of an elephant recently, we at Vapor Trails TV want to hear about it. So please either tweet or get in touch, especially if you've got film. He lost his e-cig off the back of an elephant. That can't happen very often, can it? That can't happen very often. We have basically one video left. It's quite a short one, this. It's from Andy Abrook. And I'll explain before I show you this. He had the same brief as everybody else. And you can see that mostly the team seemed to appreciate what we wanted from them and sent me a video telling me what their favourite vaping device of 2014 was. And he did the same. You decide.
The Stingray and the Mutation X version 2 have been my choice of my favourite mod anatomizer of 2014. They have adequate safety precautions and they are nothing like the Limpopo River. How about £10 now please, Mr. Kitson? Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Andy. I still don't know what that mod was. But it is not like the Limpopo River, apparently. But seriously, I want to say a huge thank you to all of the guys who managed to rustle together, because they put those videos together at very short notice when we knew I was going to be busy around showtime, and then everybody was disappointed when we had to actually postpone the show. So thanks ever so much, guys, for that stuff. I think the iStick got a few favourable mentions there, but I think it shows, it kind of underscores, doesn't it, how everybody's different. Because I actually thought the iStick would walk away with this, and I've just realised I haven't showed Dave Dawn's video, so we'll take an ad break. We'll come back. We'll show Dave Dawn's video. Because how did I do that? I've crossed him off the list for some reason. That could have been embarrassing, couldn't it? Let's take our second commercial break. We'll come back and we'll show Dave Dawn's Best of 2014 video. I'll be right back after this.
Healthy Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. Proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
Alongside it, we have the likes.
Oh dear, that's not going very well, is it? We have a technical difficulty which I shall be resolving about now. Seamless, absolutely seamless. It's okay. I don't think anybody noticed.
When Mr. Kitson asked me if I would pick one of my favourite devices of 2014, the choice was quite easy, and it came very late in the year. The DNA 40, it has changed about the way I look at e-cigs, is the beast in question. I rather like the way it works. I rather like the temperature control. I rather like the fact that I can get results out of something like this that would normally take really, really high wattages and would run the risk of me getting nasty burny bits of juice in the mouth. We don't like that. So yes, the DNA 40 is going to be right up there at the top of my list, but alongside it we have the likes of these little beauties. And these are very, very simple devices. The E-Leaf iStick and TW Curve, there you are, both to be seen, is what they are. I like them. I do like them. I like the bendy things, and I like these delta tanks that go on top, and the kangaroo mow, all that kind of stuff. In fact, what it's doing is making faff-free vaping, something that we've been on about on VTTV for a long, long time, a reality. You can be faff-free with DNA 40 and nickel off-the-shelf coils, as faff-free as you like. It's dead easy. When a coil's died, after a lot longer than a normal coil will take, I would think, you just screw a new one in. That's kind of good, don't you think? I think it's fabulous, in fact. So here I sit with a small number of devices on my table that I like and that I shall continue to use. The iStick for its portability, the DNA 40 for everything else. Flavour, vapour. I'm not going to go too high on the safety and the faff-freeness of it all. We live in interesting times. It's all good. Merry Christmas And a Happy New Year. Excuse me.
And Merry Christmas to you too, Dave. Yes, and at least I showed you VT, which would be kind of nice after all the effort that was put into it. So, yes, so I thanked the team before. I'd like to thank them again, plus Dave. I do apologise for that. I'd written it down and everything. Somehow I'd put a line through him prematurely. There's a joke in there. I'm not going there, though. Right, I said at the beginning of the show, I wanted to mention the anniversary of the BBC Vapemeets, which I believe was a year ago. Was it a year ago today? I think it was, wasn't it? Because it was a Saturday, wasn't it? Last year. And today was to be a sort of anniversary meet. In conjunction with fellow vapers in France. Now, due to the events over there that have taken place today, I think that the choice that was made to move the main UK anniversary event to the 25th of January makes a lot of sense. I've been out and about a lot today, but I've seen headlines about 2 million people marching through Paris, a unity demonstration following the tragic events of the other day. So I think it makes sense all round for the French to replan their date, and personally, because there's been opinions both ways about this forthcoming meet. Some people believe that we perhaps shouldn't give in to terrorism. I don't see it as that at all. I see this as wanting to show unity with our French counterparts, and therefore it makes sense to move to another date. So the new date is for the new meet is going to be the 25th of January. Now, if you're fairly new to vaping or new to VTTV or just weren't around for one reason or another a year ago, wondering what the hell this is all about, I've got hold of the SWAF footage here, which recaps the event last year, just to give you a flavour of what it's all about and what we want to mark the anniversary of. There's still a battle to be fought against not just the TPD, but various other sort of bits of legislation that people are trying to push through and sneak in here and there, and the public need to be influenced, in my opinion. This is a good summary of what we did 12 months ago, and I think what we'd all like to see in a couple of weeks' time. So have a look at this.
There's a real danger that MEPs who voted for tight controls on e-cigs, forcing them to go through a whole load of regulatory bodies that will be expensive, are playing into the hands of the big pharmaceutical or the big tobacco companies. And of course they're best placed, they have the resources to comply with any regulatory measures and testing requirements that may be introduced.
Well, hello. Good morning. It is Wednesday the 18th of December, all full year since the Tobacco Products Directive was first presented in Brussels. And today, agreement was reached on the text of the Tobacco Products Directive and mostly about e-cigs.
There's hypocrisy, double standards and confusion about this whole issue. You know, where do you place e-cigs? They're a game changer, they're a new product. We haven't come across them before. Do we classify them as a medicinal product? Do we classify them as a recreational drug like alcohol or indeed like cigarettes? Now, I just think that time will tell. You know, the debate will move on, and what we shouldn't be doing at the moment is putting unnecessary restrictions in the way of a product which could lead to the saving of hundreds of thousands of lives every year and a dramatic improvement to the health of conventional cigarette users. Let's please not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
After the European Parliament went to such great lengths to make sure that they wouldn't be regulated as medicines, they still can't. Member weren't going to have a go at making them medicines are going to be forced into adopting draconian regulations that they would not otherwise have been. I do not see how this is a win for anybody. I'm sure Chad's got something to say on that one before Dave comes in.
Whip It Up 69 says we've been well and truly screwed.
I think we've been sold out, is my take on that. It basically says, okay, we won't agree to it now. We'll agree to it without any scrutiny or any further votes in the future. That'll do, thanks. Watching the tweets last night and this morning from people like Chris Davis claiming a victory, what planet is the guy on? It is not a bloody victory, is it?
Anything above 2 mil is banned. Anything above 20 milligrams is banned. And any bottle bigger than 10 mils is banned. And they said there was to be no ban.
In many ways, this could end up being worse than bloody medical regulation, what we've currently got. You could speculate that it could be quite a good result for the tobacco companies.
I do get the feeling that this might have been constructed in order to kill e-cigs without being seen to kill e-cigs. And the best way we can fight it is by getting out there and making our protest heard in as many places as we possibly can.
Right, what's going on here today?
Well, we're having a meeting outside BBC offices just to raise awareness for e-cigs and the proposed e-cig ban that the EU are trying to enforce.
Here we are at the BBC Vapemeets in Nottingham. Like 25 vapers have come down to actually support e-cigs.
Throughout Europe are gathering outside local television and radio stations for Vapemeets.
Incredible, that.
Isn't it?
Vaping about 2 years. I'm here to fight for my right to vape.
This is what we are here for. E-cigs save lives, and we need to make sure people know.
That has stopped me smoking, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy with it. It's doing us no harm. It's doing nobody else any harm. Please leave me alone.
Exactly. Well, there you are. There's a message for every MEP and every legislator everywhere. Leave us alone.
It is just basically a protest for me about my right to actually choose nicotine, how I want to actually take nicotine. We basically want to have the right to choose.
The government will always say there's not a ban, but it's a de facto ban because they want to regulate the e-liquids down to a ridiculous strength.
Cigarettes kill people, you know. This, as far as I'm aware, and millions of people around the world actually are aware, this doesn't kill anybody.
We are vapers and we're not going to go away, and we're not going to go away quietly. So we're making as much noise as we can on Twitter, Facebook, sending emails, calling the newsroom, saying we are here, come and talk to us.
Today is actually 2 years to the day that I've been tobacco free, and I'm here to do my bit to ensure that one, I can be still tobacco free in 2 years' time, and more than that, that other people have the option to be tobacco free.
We need to make ourselves heard, and we need to do it any way we can, and this is nationwide trying to get the BBC to notice us and make our voices known to them from our side of it, rather than someone sat in Parliament saying, well, vapers believe and understand that that doesn't work.
Today in Cardiff has been pretty much of a good success. We've been met by Head of Security that passed our press release onto the press office. Somebody from the press office will come down. By all accounts, they're going to be inviting me back when they have a debate on it. He didn't say whether or not that would be a TV debate or a radio debate. We've also had the support from the security team allowing us to actually enter onto the BBC site as well to do various bits and pieces. In Manchester, they were asked to leave the vicinity, so I immediately got on the phone to Manchester to find out what was happening and going on. It's in regards to the protest outside your building at the moment. the vaping crowd up there has moved on.
Are you filming this, sir?
I am doing, yes.
I think I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Manchester sublet the site from a different landlord, so BBC don't own the site. So what has happened is the landlord has said we want them off site because obviously they haven't had permission from us to protest. So they've gone ahead and they've been moved off site to not be sort of taken to court for trespassing. As oddly as that sounds, that's what can happen.
This is going to start the ball rolling because it's time that we actually get listened to by people who are supposed to represent us, who are supposed to actually be the voice of us in Parliament, you know, in sort of like the European Parliament. This is time for them to start listening.
Most people have written to or emailed or rung their MPs. I mean, for instance, right now in Birmingham, there's an MEP with the vapers in Birmingham.
I think it's important to stand up for vapers, and the attempt by the EU Parliament to attempt to effectively ban e-cigarettes. I think it's ludicrous interference, and I think it's an interference from the EU that we don't need, and it's unnecessary. The major lobby against e-cigarettes is the tobacco lobby, and I wonder why. I think that argument says it all, and I think that everyone should be very suspicious of why the tobacco lobby wants to ban e-cigarettes. As from what we can see, from what we can hear today, it seems to be the only proven method of giving up cigarettes.
The government basically want us to go back to cigarettes, cause harm to our bodies, whereas vaping, it's not bad for us as smoking. My opinion is they don't want us to vape because they're losing too much tax money.
It's about us, people of Great Britain and the world, just saying, look, come and talk to us and find out from our perspective, not what someone said our perspective is. Manchester BBC have asked the people to move away. Surely they should embrace the fact that there are people that want to speak about a very important issue for people who want to stay on nicotine, don't want to smoke.
This is about me standing up and saying, actually, I want something that I know is not harming me. This for me is a solution, and it's about time that people started listening.
I see today as the first of many, and I see today as the beginning, and it's certainly not the end.
Right, so that was just a little reminder of what some of us did, quite a lot of us did, a year ago. And there's footage, if you go onto the SWAF YouTube page or just search for the Vapemeets. Around that time, we had this happened all across Europe. It was a wonderful thing. If you are able to on the 25th. Get out there and show some support. Not everybody can make it. It's up to you if you want to make it. Personally, I think these events, they do attract the press. We had MEPs all over us. I was at the Birmingham meet. We had Phil Benyon and Nikki Sinclair there. You saw. We had Dave Dawn had the local Lib Dem MEP. Up I think it was Newcastle who was outside. I'm sure he'll correct me if I'm wrong. So it got some attention. It got some notice. So if you want to go along and take part on the 25th, I've just quickly sort of flick this up on the screen that you can see. This is a Facebook events page. And I can see that it's all squished up on the view because I just did it hastily. Don't worry about that. Basically, if you go to Facebook and search for Anniversary Vapemeet 2015, okay, don't expect everything to be laid on for you, but if you want to take part in an event, it's a good place to post a message, see if anybody wants to meet at your local venue, and get something organised. In case you're worried about being the only person there or something like that, there's a tool there that you can use to find somebody who's going and arrange to meet up with them and what have you. So I do suggest you do it. I just want to say a quick thank you to Andy Sutton of SWAF Smoke Without Fire campaign for supplying that bit of footage that you just saw. So we could show that. I've got a small update as well. Andy has been working on a video of Professor Peter Hayek. Again, if you're a regular watcher of VTTV, you'll know that Peter Hayek, he's... I've just got to refer to his proper title because I don't want to get it wrong. He's the director of Queen Mary University of London Tobacco Dependence Research Unit, and has been very, very supportive and very pro e-cig, to the point that he has been very critical of some of his peers and the dismissive attitude that they take to it. Now, Andy has filmed and got this pretty much ready to go, and he's just waiting for some sign-off, basically, before he can release it. But he asked me just to pass on the message that that'll be appearing very soon as part of the SWAF initiative. And that brings us to time. It's an hour and a bit since we started in our surreal late Christmas edition. Unfortunately, as I say, I'm back to work tomorrow. Christmas is officially over when I go to bed tonight, which is a bit of a pain. But I've had a very enjoyable break, and I hope you guys have all had a good Christmas and a good start to 2015. I've got to go now. I'll see you next week, but until then, thanks for watching. Good night.